You put the note out on social media, the injury has flared its head again, which obviously this close to Lakeside, one, can't be a good thing for your prep, but two, your mindset as well, because is this it?
It never went away. It was managed. It never went away. Did I get lazy with the management of it? I'm going to blame myself. I am. I'm going to blame myself. It was my fault. I stopped going to treatment, and the reason I was doing that was probably because I'm taking on more media work. So I'm not really at home as much. I went through a period of time where I wasn't at home for about 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks, of which time, if I was proper, I should have found local centres I could have gone to maintain treatment, and I didn't. So I'm going to blame myself for not doing what I was told to do. Now, with that, this isn't the end of the world, in the fact of, like, say, Lakeside's on the horizon. We're, a couple of weeks out now, about 4 weeks or so, 5 weeks or so to go. And I'm currently in a period of rest. At the end of that period of rest, I'm going to have treatment once a week, and I'm going to be having a schedule that manages it. Now, this means I've withdrew from everything. I was going to play the Super Series, I was going to play a couple of tournaments, just to try and get myself ready as I can be. So now getting ready means I'm going to have to go and have practice sessions, so it's done on my terms, and it can be done in a block. Because what I don't want to do is get up at 10 o'clock in the morning to start playing in the tournament and then running through till 6, 7 o'clock at night. It's too much. However, I have a lot of contacts within the sport. A lot of people have reached out to me to say, Matt, come down, we'll have a practice. I'll come to you, we'll have a practice. You know, players that are in the top 16 in the world. So I'm going to have the best practice partners going. So there's going to be no excuses from me here. This is going to be a proper preparation period. It's just not the way I originally planned it. Now, when Lakeside comes around, that's the interesting bit, because you talk about the mental side. That's the bit you lose. That's the bit I've lost, because I don't trust myself. I don't believe in myself in certain situations. I overestimate everyone else's ability while underestimating my own, because I don't feel 100%. And I know I don't feel 100%. So what I've got to do is I've got to get myself to that place, which is a really weird place to go to, where nothing matters but the game. Now, when I was over at the World Masters a couple of weeks back now, I went into that tournament. Day one was fine. I was absolutely happy with everything. Day two, standard was about the same, but I knew it was wrong. So although the output looked the same, it wasn't. And I knew it wasn't right. Now, what you tend to do is, instead of thinking, I need to beat this guy, I need to run this, I need to do that, I need to hit this, you start thinking, should I continue playing? Should I be here? Do I stop? These things go through your mind rather than concentrating on the game and what's forward. Lakeside will suit me so much better. It's one game a day.
Yeah.
I can manage that better. Certainly in the early rounds, play one day, you might miss 2 or 3 days. Play another day, you might miss another day. Until you get to the latter stages, it's going to suit me a lot better. I love a stage. I love the backstage sort of war of words. I can't wait to be involved in that again. So I'm smiling, talking about it. I'm excited. I am looking forward to it. It's just going to be different to how I originally thought. But different's not always bad. And this might actually work out better, because one thing that might happen off the back of this is I might be underestimated. And I know full well that if I turn up and I play my game, I don't think there's a player in there I can lose to. And I say lose to because that's how I think it'd be. I don't think there's someone there that would beat me if I go there and play my normal game. You look at over the last sort of 10, 11 years, I was on the tour, and these people were looking at me on the tour, probably wanting to take that position. And some of them, you look at them and you think you are going to go take that position. So do I find the guy who's on the tour for 11 years and sustain that position? Or do I turn up how I am now and get beat first round? So it's exciting, because I don't think I know what's going to happen.
Sounds like Bray Wyatt and The Fiend.
I'm sat battling myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go do this. But I might not.
However, you dodged the other part of the question quite well there.
Yeah, I can never dodge a question with you, Phil.
After Lakeside, is that the end because of the injury reoccurring? That I know last time we spoke, you said, let's manage it, but if it goes again, it's surgery. You didn't want to do that. So after Lakeside, is that the end?
Sat here right now, and on the build-up to this, I'll tell you exactly what I've said. So it was a conversation me and Connor Scott was having, because we was talking about his journey in darts, my journey, any crossovers we've had. And I said to him, I says, at the end of my match, whichever one it is, I'm going to throw my darts in the lake. There's a lot of famous darts in that lake.
There is.
And I said, imagine being able to play at that venue, know that it's your last. Not many people walk onto a stage like Lakeside and think it's ever the end. Because when you get to a big stage like that, you always think there's going to be more ahead of it. Where I could quite easily walk off there and be content and happy, knowing that, like I say, I'm so happy working in the media. And ultimately, I think that's what I wanted more than anything. So I could come off, throw me darts in the lake, and I've done. And then when I sit down and I think about that decision, I think the worst thing is I keep getting encouragement from places. Like, I went to Wales and made a final, I won 2 titles, I made 5 finals on this tour. And I look at it and go, this is going to sound maybe a little bit disrespectful, but I don't have to be at my best to win on that tour.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have to be at my best to win on that tour. And I can win titles on that tour by not being my best. So do I continue? And then I'm like, I don't know if I can put myself through it no more. So I'm having turmoil and battle with myself. At this point, I'd love to say when I come off, I'm throwing the darts in the lake. I will also say I have got a table which is going to have all of my family and friends on. They are all coming to this, and I've never done that before. My mum's never seen me play darts live.
Wow.
But she's coming to Lakeside. Now, there's probably a reason for that, in the fact that that tells you something without me actually saying it. Like, the fact I've invited everybody down. My auntie, never been to one of my games. She's coming down from Doncaster to come and watch. So I've got friends, some within the industry, some faces you'll recognise.
Well, I know one that's coming down from the northeast.
Yeah, so there's a few. I'd probably say there's going to be more famous faces on my table than playing in the tournament, which is, again, quite a funny thing to say. But that probably tells you the answer in terms of where I think it is. That I think that could be the last game or the last event I play in, the fact that I'm trying to pull everyone in to watch it.
Are you scared to say it? Are you scared to close the door?
I think I am for 2 reasons. One, because it's such a tough... Because it's been with me since I was 14, I've been playing. Even though I don't really play much now, I've sort of had a soft out from playing. And as much as I don't want to, essentially, play anymore, because it's horrible on the head when you can't do what you would, or when you get into those modes like I had over in Budapest where you just can't throw the dart correctly no more, and it's frustrating. But then I think, well, is this a forever thing? Can this change? If I have the surgery, would it change? Or does it get worse? Do I get even worse than I thought? So there's questions, and then it's like, right, well, I've got a great manufacturer in Mission, and they're like, maybe we could work on a dart that suits a new style of throw. Maybe you've just got to adapt now. And it's like, well, that's a possibility as well. And then I'm like, but then I don't have time for it no more. I look at my diary for next year. First 6 months of the year are pretty chocker now, because I've now got those dates with the PDC involved.
Yeah.
I've got the dates here with the Super Series. I've got my own bits that I'm doing. I've got bits with Sky at the studios. There's all sorts of bits going on that it just fills it up really quick. So it's like, well, where do I have time to be the dart player anymore? So I would say yes, in terms of I don't think I'll pursue anything beyond this. However, love travelling. I've got great friends. All my friends are from dart. I don't have friends outside the darts. I don't. Like, I've got about 2, maybe 3 friends outside the darts. So all my friends are within darts. So they like to travel about. They like to go to these things. I like to go to some of these countries. So yes, I will say I think this is it. But don't be surprised if I pop up like in the Philippines somewhere
Yeah, no, I get it.
and play a tournament somewhere. That's not me going, right, I'm coming back to playing darts properly. That's me just going, I'm away with my friends.
Yeah.
You know, if you quit pro football and you have a game of Sunday League, it doesn't mean you're not retired. So I would say, yes, that would be it.
That didn't hurt, did it?
No, actually, no. I gave you a very long-winded answer there, but like I say, I think the clues are there in terms of, like I say, I've got a table full of my family and friends. Everyone's going to be there. There's a reason I've done that, and that's probably the answer.
One.